first long-form video, and I'm reading some scary stories. Okay, I posted this one already on my YouTube channel as a short, but the other one is just too long. But I'm gonna still read this one if you're watching the full story. Also, I'm gonna go to bed right after this, so I'm gonna get ready. Okay, I read this like 3 times because I keep messing up, but I'm not reading it again because I literally have it memorized at this point. Well, like, I'm reading it again, but I'm not, like, she doesn't want her account set, and I don't blame her. But this is what she says. Okay, I have a spooky one. When I was around 10 years old, I was walking through my neighborhood in a small town. It was a stormy day and it was cold, but I was doing fine since I had lived there my entire life. I moved away when I was 14, but basically it was cold because it was nearly winter time. So as I was walking to my house, I lived near a cemetery, and it was very old, and it was like the town's original cemetery. Well, as I walked by, a breeze pushed me against the fence, and I turned away from the wind. Well, after the breeze had stopped, I looked at the cemetery, to which I found a very tall young man dressed in rugged clothes with black hair and a beanie. And I didn't pay much attention, but he looked sad, and as the town was small, I wanted to comfort him. So I walked in and pretended to go to the gravestone near him. When I walked over, he didn't say anything to me. I stared at the stone, and I didn't know the person who was laid there. I wondered about that person's life. I got bored and decided to ask the man if he was alright. I swear to gosh that he stared me dead in the eyes, giggled a sinister giggle, and disappeared. Okay. Yeah. That's messed up, bro. That would traumatize me. Right there, I screamed so loud and ran away crying. One of my neighbors ran outside to check on me. After I had told her what happened, she said, "Oh, you met him too? Oh, sweetie, don't worry, he can't follow you." Oh, why does he know him? Oh my god, he can't follow you home. Okay, that's good. He can't follow you home. You know, you think about it that way, he can't follow you home. That's good, Chief. That's good at least. Timmy, stop. Mind you, this woman was very old and probably had dementia. I freaked out again and basically walked home. I still have goosebumps thinking about it. Yeah, girl, I would too. I would never know. I never went back to the cemetery. Good. You don't want to. I would never even walk by the cemetery. But if that's your only way, girl, I'm walking behind the houses and then in front. There is always a different way. Unless it's like a one road type thing. Timmy wants to say hi. Say hi, babies. I never went back in that cemetery again, but I did see him just chilling there. But yeah, feel free to share this. Please don't share my account. Girly Pops. What? You would walk by that every day, and you would see him sitting there like, no. And no. Personally, no. I would just walk around it and not even look back. Why would you even look back to see? No. I think I would run across the other side of the street and just run by it. Never. No, I would ride the bus home from school. Unless there's a bus stop beforehand, or like you're not allowed to. I don't know, but girl, I would have changed that situation right then and there. Okay, here's another one. Hey, I have a horrifying story. Please give me credits and stuff. Thank you. I got you, girl. I got you. Okay, wait. Okay, so this is by Kate West, which sounds very familiar. Like, I think she's from my brother's channel. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, hey, I have a horrifying story to tell. Please give me credits and stuff. Thank you. So this happened to me when I was about 14, so like roughly 2 years ago. So I grew up in this very strange town. It was very isolated, right? But surprisingly, it was very wealthy. Well, my family owned a very successful business, and because of this, we had a lot of money. Well, my grandma was also very rich, and I loved her house. And she lived in the same area as me, but like roughly 30 minutes away. So she lived in a huge house with a pasture, a barn, and a private pond. That sounds so beautiful. But big enough for a boat? Girl, that's a miniature lake. Well, that property was very, very old, but it was gorgeous. Yeah, girl, it sounds gorgeous. It was in the mountains, away from everything. Oh, you're so lucky you want that. But that sounds scary at night, girl. I would never go outside at night there. Anyways. So I loved visiting my grandma. Well, basically, since I was 9 years old, me and my cousin Sydney would spend our summers with our grandma in her mansion. Well, that property was so big that me and Sydney would hike for hours and only be allowed in certain parts of the property. Our grandma had made some very strange rules, like we had to be home by 5 p.m. no matter what, and we never got to be outside of the house. Like if we had to be able to see the house. Well, me and Sydney never questioned it. Well, when we grew older, we got more curious. We still followed the 5 p.m. rule, but since we both had phones, we begged our grandma to let us go deeper. She obviously said no, but we decided to go deeper anyways. We kept going deeper and deeper. It was beautiful back there. We found a creek deep enough to swim in, but this is when things started getting weird. It was beautiful back there. Oh, wait. This is when things started getting weird. We followed the creek to an abandoned swing and zip line. Oh, that's kind of weird. We decided to try it. It wasn't very fun and it didn't swing. The zip line broke when I tested my weight. We were obviously disappointed, so we continued down the creek until we found a worn down stone wall and a broken gate. I begged Sydney to go home, so it had garbage and broken structures. I had a bad feeling, and I begged Sydney to go home, so we turned around and started heading that way. We found a few weird broken structures, such as a broken wall, a random fountain, and a chair, and the weirdest thing was a group of broken swings lying next to each other in a circle, and that was really creepy, as that day had been very nice. There wasn't even a breeze, but for some reason one of the most used swings was swinging by itself. It was swinging as if something had just jumped off of it, and I swear to God, out of the corner of my arm, me and Sydney both saw something run by, so we ran away. We both screamed and ran as fast as we could back to the house. I felt something watch us and then heard a kid giggle. It was horrifying. We ran home all sweaty. Our grandma was sitting on the porch reading when she saw us sprinting and screaming, looking absolutely horrified. I don't blame you, that's horrifying. Ugh, I don't even want to read this. This is so scary. Whatever. So we ran to her and jumped into her arms. She comforted us, but we wouldn't tell her what happened. She sent us inside to go calm down, but we had to tell her, what had happened, or we would be grounded if we didn't. So we ran inside and sat in our bedroom to think of an excuse. I don't remember what the excuse was, but I knew we got away with it. And our grandma was confused on why we didn't go hiking for like a week straight. Girl, I would never go hiking like that. Never. I would swim in the lake. I would swing on her backyard, bro. I would ride her horses if she had some, but I would never go hiking again. Not in that forest. Probably never again. Like, that's honestly so scary. Like, a little kid run by them. Oh, no. But yeah, that's my story. If you could say my account and credits in your next video, that would be great. Thank you. Of course, so yeah, that was by Kate West. I'm pretty sure she watched my brother's video, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's horrifying. I would never go hiking again, or maybe even to my grandma's house. I don't know if they did. Could ask for an update, but that seemed personal. So yeah, hope y'all are having a great day. That sounds scary. Bye guys, I love you, and thanks for watching my first ever video. I'll probably keep doing things like this because it depends, but you know,